No matter what race, religion, ethnicity, it doesn't matter. You can see yourself in my work both physically and spiritually. I really try to create that inherent quality to incorporate the viewer into my work. When somebody walks and interacts with my work, you can see the variety and myriad of colors and different negative shapes that are built into the artwork. The aluminum and the light is able to reflect and bounce off into the individual layers, creating shadows and depth and warmth. The Envisage series creates these figurative elements. Negative shapes from two-dimensional forms create three-dimensional objects. And the representation can only be seen from angles to view the color, the balance, the form, and all necessary elements to create the overall composition. I enjoy using very bold primary colors that are only visible when seen from certain perspectives. So the subject is extremely important to me. The certain poses, the certain orientations of the mouth, the downward tilt of the head, all play an iconic role in how one can interpret the work. And when we have this large reflective panel, we then immediately recognize ourselves when walking through the work and the environment where the artwork is hanging. Which then engulfs the environment around itself. Most of my work delves into the psyche of the unknown, about the premeditation, the premonitions that one might have when originally viewing the work. It might be something totally different whenever they actually study and reveal elements hidden underneath and the underlying values and the sort of metamorphosis of thinking over time. I love the immediacy when I work with palette knives. The thicknesses and the layering of paint that I use is so rewarding to see the different viscosities and the different luminosities that are created. It is just one of the most fundamentally freeing things to be able to manipulate the paint in that sort of direction. And when these large-scale works are created, I'm able to then incorporate both myself into the work as well as every viewer that then focuses and is able to see from a certain perspective the colors that are inherent, whether it be the blending of blues or the blending of different reds and tonalities that allow that depth and that, just the extra layer that gives the love and the warmth to each individual piece. In my Liquid series, I love the primal emotional aspect of life, where you bring different color palettes in order to really visually stimulate the eye, as well as seeing the negative space and the depth created in a very, very shallow frame. I'm trying to make this transcendental sort of episode in order to make sure we can have that connection, whether it be a positive or a negative experience in how we view art at a fundamental level. Bridging the gap between our psychoanalysis of each individual work, I love the idea of the living and the eventual demise and the decay that goes through each individual piece. I really try to enjoy the subtle reflections of the thick material. We all prefer something unique, and that's what's beautiful. We need to make sure that we can then embrace one another in that understanding that we're not the same. And that's something that's really important to me, is to be able to bring both the viewer the environment, and what someone has built in their life in order to sort of reflect what they've done and the achievements and the accolades and everything that they've done to bring something more beautiful to this world than before they started.